Hi everyone. Just thought I'd leave an update on the quality of the energies at the moment. Actually, not just at the moment, but for the last couple of months, because it's been on my mind to share this, especially as people coming in for energy work for Reiki have been really going through it. So, I thought I'd share a little bit about what the energies are feeling like, and they've actually changed this week, which is interesting. They're always changing. So the last couple of months have been a time of deep, deep, deep clearing of the aura, of the record of experiences within the energy field. And it's always been like this ever since I've been giving Reiki. We're always clearing things out of the aura that are vibrating at a low vibration. But in the last couple of months, it has been on such a deep level and so accelerated compared to what it has been like before. And this acceleration has been slowly happening over the last 3 years, probably about 3 years, I'd say. But it has really, really ramped up in the last couple of months. And I would say that clients coming in for sessions were almost having like a type of energetic surgery to remove aspects of their aura, the record within their field of their soul's experience that is holding them back from going into higher vibrations are being removed. And in some cases, coming out of the unconscious and moving through into the conscious. So clients actually having these kind of thoughts and memories and feelings, also recognize feelings coming into the conscious mind and then leaving. And what's really interesting about the last couple of months is that the clearing, sorry, I just got distracted by a message popping up on my screen, is that the clearing is not just of this lifetime. So I have not ever wished to specialize in past life stuff. It's never particularly drawn my attention. I've never been taken there through my own work and my connection to spirit. But in the last couple of months, the things that have been clearing in the room have evidently not been of this lifetime, because the feelings that clients are having come through, like terror and random thoughts and dark figures and shadows, all sorts of like this whole gamut of things that they've been clearing, have nothing to do with their experiences of this lifetime. So in asking the guides what that was about, and I always speak to the guides in my sessions to help understand what it is we're working on and pass on information that needs to be passed on to the client, or that helps me to help the client to move into that higher vibration, was that it's not of this lifetime. And not only that, it's not of this dimension. It's like, it's not of even an experience on this planet. So it's just records of energy that's lower than what is optimal for the client to move through their evolution, their spiritual evolution, to move through their ascension process. And this is happening on a collective level, which is very exciting for me. Like, I love being in the high energies. That is home for me. The higher it is, the better. I mean, to a degree that I can handle. It's always the amount that you can handle. That's what's important. But every single person can handle a particular raise in vibration for them at this time. But that amount of jump or leap that's being permitted by spirit is miraculous. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And I am always in awe of these energies. I am in huge reverence for them because of the miracles they create. And just, there's this whole other energetic world that we are living in that has become more and more visible to me the more I work this way. But this is like something else, and I get very excited about it, very, very excited, because it means that as a collective, we have the potential to raise our collective vibration in a way that has never been seen before, at least that I'm aware of. I'm sure it's happened many, 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 many years ago, but maybe this cycle's been gone through before by people living on this planet, or maybe, but not in anything that I'm aware of, that I know of the spiritual world. So this acceleration is phenomenal, and it means that people are having things clear out of their field in like 1 session, 2 sessions, that they may have had to work on over years and years to work through their own conscious process. Now, it doesn't mean that we get like a free pass. It doesn't mean that you just don't have to do your shadow work. You don't have to do your inner work. You don't have to, doesn't mean you don't have to actually go within and find out what's going on inside there, like what's happening in your subconscious, what's driving you unconsciously to do certain things and react in certain ways, and you don't understand that. That is always still the work we need to do. But the permission from these energies is, well, you can accelerate that. That can happen so much faster. And it's meant to happen at this time. It feels like this is exactly what's meant to happen at this time. We are meant to move through vibrational leaps and at an accelerated rate like I've never experienced before. And it feels so blissful. I love it. And sometimes in a session, I'll come across, a lot in a session, a Reiki session or an energy session, I'll come across an area of the field that's quite stagnant. It feels solid. It's stuck. It's like the energy's not moving through, and I've got to wait, or it might take a few sessions for that to shift, or it may not shift sometimes. It actually depends on whether the individual is willing to let it go, really, whether it's on a sort of energetic level or a conscious level, but it's the surrender. Are they willing to surrender to let this thing pass through them? And if it's something they fear, they might just hang on to it. They don't wish to let go. But it's almost like we're being given these miraculous moments where it's like, you know what, we're just going to pull that out for that person. They don't even have to process it. And it's like something that I'm so, so grateful for. So, and we really, really need it right now on the planet. Like, we really need this, because when you move into a high vibration on a more permanent basis, not just straight after a Reiki session, but when you actually do your own work to change your vibration, to change your frequency, and Reiki will support you, but you have to go home and do some work to keep yourself there. Always, that's how it works. Then you are potentially living in a completely different reality of your making, because you're the creator of your own reality, and in a different vibration that is more loving, that is more compassionate, that's more connected, that's more, just feels better. And essentially you're moving towards living in heaven on earth. But it's easier to get there now, so much easier. So the last couple of months have been the energies coming in and pulling stuff out of the deepest layers of the aura and removing them in a miraculous, amazing, like at times really uncomfortable way. Like, why would it be comfortable? You're going deep into the old records in the energy field and pulling this stuff out, but actually just happening in a session, and then being free of them more permanently. Because often we go through cycles where we clear something and then we feel like we're through it, and then it comes back up, it pops back up, because there's another layer of it to clear and another layer of it to clear. It's like almost like if your aura is out here and it's the easy bit, like this is the lighter bit, and then you go deeper down into it, and that's where it's more stuck, because it's been there for a long time, maybe from a past life, maybe from living on another planet. Like there is no limit to where what your soul has done in its lifetime, and what experiences it's had. And it's like they're like going, oh, we're not going to just start here. We're going to go right down to here and go, let's just pop it out, like get rid of it. So it can be it's been really intense. It's been intense in this room. I'm in my treatment room for anyone who's never been here before. It's been very intense at sometimes. It's been like we're riding these crazy waves of like clearing, but it's happening like that. And then it's shifted, and the majority of it, and sometimes in some cases all of it, is out of the field. There's no more processing to do. That is miraculous. So I've had a couple of experiences like that myself. And in fact, this is the important bit, is that probably up until we had those amazing lights in the sky, you might remember maybe, 5 or 6 weeks ago, over that weekend, we had the Aurora Borealis, the Aurora Australis, but we had these amazing divine lights. To me, they were divine lights. I've heard other theories, but I was on such an energetic high that weekend. I know, like, I feel the energies around me. I feel the collective. And it was just the best environmental energy I'd been in for quite some time, because they have been very low. I've had to work hard to stay in high energies, but that weekend I was just cruising. It was amazing. So that was like, to me, it was like the light of God is coming into this planet, or source or spirit or whatever you want to call it. I have no attachments to any of those words. They all mean the same thing to me. It's just where our spirit and soul came from, the source of all things, and it's divinely loving. And it was like showing itself to us. Here we are. Here it is. It's here. We're here. We're all these divine beings, source energy. It's available to us, and it was so visible to us. It's invisible normally, unless you have that ability to see it, clairvoyancy, or you feel it in some way, or you hear it in some way, and so you're aware of it. Because I feel it, like I feel it in my field. I feel the guides talking to me. I'm connected to them through so many years of work. It's just become stronger. I'm more permeable to it because my vibrations changed. But they just showed to everybody, like, we're here, we got you, you know. But that was like the gift of many, many weeks of deep, deep clearing. And I was like down on the floor, sobbing my eyes out, clearing fears and feelings that had nothing to do with my current life. And I was like, I mean, I'm used to that, but I was okay with it. I just went with it. I was like, great, let's get this stuff out, you know, let's clear it. In the middle of a sob. So, but that's years of me practicing that. I'm used to it now. I didn't used to be like that before, but I've worked on it and I'm comfortable with it now. But a lot of people were in a lot of crisis because they're not understanding what these huge emotional reactions are and where they're even coming from. They made no sense, but it's because it wasn't just of this life. It's not just from the challenges and traumas you've experienced in this life. It's through many, many lives. So I'm not saying it's all done and dusted by any means, but this has been a time of what my teacher used to call a divine dispensation. It's like we are, the divine beings are giving us a little bit of a boost. They're giving us an extra help. And I would say not a little, a lot of extra help to free us up energetically in our field, to be able to move into a high vibration. But only if you're doing the work. It doesn't just, I think it probably does just happen sometimes, maybe through an experience a person has, whether it's in nature or experiencing, I don't know, the beauty of a bird or whale or whatever it might be. There are different ways to access this. But if you're consciously doing the work, we've had an amazing opportunity to accelerate and increase what's called, to me, our light quotient, the amount of divine light we regularly hold in our energy field. And that's like a proportion. It's like, are we 30% light? Are we 40% light? So, and that's, the more light we hold, the more we evolve and ascend. People talk all about ascension, and I follow a lot of different groups, and it's like, beam me up, Scotty. It's not quite like that. It's like, well, what are you doing within to allow that light into you? What space are you making in your field to let that light come into you? And the way that space was created over those last couple of months has been much faster than usual, and a great, huge, amazing gift, which I just have absolutely loved and enjoyed. I wouldn't say all my clients have, because the sessions have been really intense, but afterwards, the clearing makes space in the field, and then the light can enter in. The divine light can fill up that space, fill up that void that's been created by that shift. And those shifts have been so much bigger and faster than usual. So that's been going on for a couple of months. And then this week, I feel like we've kind of reached a little peaceful plateau. So this week's sessions have all been like, they're so peaceful. It doesn't feel like we're doing deep digging and clearing and that sort of thing. The shifts are happening, but it's very gentle. So we're having a little respite now. It's like people are just going to this really peaceful, still, quiet, loving space, which is always there, but it's been given to everybody this week. So, and another thing that's worth noting is that after having I had 4 major clearings over 4 weeks, an incredible thing happened where I entered an energetic space that was, to me, felt like I was more spirit than I was physical. So I had a couple of experiences where there was a lot of chaos around me. I was in the middle of a storm giving a Reiki session, and I've had a few issues with the house, and I was concerned because the wind was so strong. And normally I'm just like, hey, trees, get your roots in the ground. Hang on there. We're good. We got this. We'll get through this. As I talk to my trees, talk to my garden, like, come on, dig in. We got this, you know? And, but this time, I guess I was also going through a personal moment where I'm like, oh, I've already had a problem with the roof. I've already got a leak. That wind and storm and rain sounds like it's going to rip my house apart. So I fell into fear in the middle of the session. So I always, when I have something come up, I just hand it over to the guides and I'm like, please continue this session for this client. And then I worked on myself, and within it probably took me about 10 minutes, but I found this place where I just went, none of it matters. Like, it just doesn't matter whether my roof gets ripped off. What does it matter? Like, at the end of the day, I'm still here and my soul's still here, and it continues on. Even if I'm not in this earthly body, my soul continues on. So what does that material thing matter? And in that moment, this incredible love entered my heart and just blew it open. And I had this moment of, oh, nothing else matters except this moment, and that I am spirit, and that I am this incredible loving light that is just having its earthly experience. And this is an example of it, what I'm in right now. And all that matters is this moment and this love and this peace and this love light. And just, there's so much more. There's so much more than this like little condensed thing I'm in, this physical body. And it's so expansive and so beautiful and so loving. And there's none of that other stuff. Judgment, fear, the fear I was having about the roof being ripped off, that doesn't exist there. And so I was in that spirit form, but still in the physical. And it was such a miraculous moment. And it just gave me this incredible sense of peace. And also, like, my spirit is so big, so much bigger than this, and just expanded out, and then just fell into this incredibly blissful, peaceful state. And then came back to the session, had a great session, and the client didn't even notice the storm. So it was phenomenal. And I've had a couple of those those moments where I'm just out in that bliss that is all that is. I'm fully connected with it. I'm not I'm never just of the physical, but I feel like I'm more in my spirit body than I am in my physical body, though I'm still in my physical body and fully aware of it. And that all that matters is the present moment. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. Not the future, not what's happening tomorrow, whether I'm going to be able to pay my bills. None of that matters. Just this moment in time. And one of my clients had a very similar experience, and she said to me, it's all just stories. It's all these stories we tell ourselves, but none of that is real. And I was like, and she said, do you know what I mean? I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. Because I'd had that same feeling, and it was just like tears of joy and wholeness. And it's so challenging to describe it in words, because the feeling is so much bigger than any word we have for it. But hopefully I've explained it. And that's what we have available to us if we work on ourselves. We do anything to raise our vibration. We do the work to look at our shadow. We do the work to look at what is in the way of us. What is it that we do on autopilot? What have we learned from our family line? What do we need to clear? And you will find all that out if you just ask yourself, why did I have that reaction to that situation? Why did I get so angry? Why did I want to withdraw? Why was I afraid? And your own energy field will talk back to you. If you keep asking it, it will talk back to you, and you get to know yourself. You get to know what your subconscious drivers are. You can bring them out into the conscious mind and then start to change the response. So, and again, this is something I love to do, and I'm very experienced at it. If you need some help with it, come and see me. We'll work through it together. I love it. I love freeing people from their own limiting programming. It's a huge passion of mine taught to me and lived with my teacher, Susie Anthony. I will mention her in every video because I am so grateful for what she has taught me. And I lived with her for 7 years. So I was living and breathing this. And now I live it in my own life. This isn't a sales pitch, by the way. I'm just saying I'm here if you need the help. So it's just, I love doing it. So it's this inner transformation is my thing. So it's my, I'm in my bliss when I'm doing that. So yeah, so if you need some help, come and see me and we can work on it together. And I certainly needed a teacher, that's for sure. So, and a guide. So I'm happy to do that. And yeah, it's just been an incredible, I would say the most miraculous period of my life. My time with my teacher, living with her, was miraculous as well. But this is me on my own, doing my own work with my own connection, with my connection to the guides. And it's been miraculous and an absolute joy. So I hope you find that helpful, because you might have had a bit of a rough time up until the last couple of weeks. You might still be going through that rough time, but know it's for your highest and greatest good. And if you take a moment to go in and find out what's going on inside there, you can bring it through and release it. But you also need to do something to raise your vibration. It's very important. So there is the psychological aspect, but there's also the vibrational aspect. And that's where Reiki is my number one thing, because every time I do Reiki, I raise my frequency. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. Like, I feel so much better. I feel much more loved up. I'm a better person. I behave better. I treat people better. Like, why not? Why not do something like that? But your thing might be being in nature, or it might be meditating, or it might be breath work, or it might be whatever. There's a whole lot of ways. But ultimately, we need to actually draw in the divine energies. And it's very important that we bring in the divine masculine, which comes from the sun or the sky, and the divine feminine, which for me comes up from the earth, because we need the internal balance between the two. So it is a combination of both that's very important. And you're actually connecting to the source of your inner being, your spirit, your soul. And then you are basically feeding that aspect of yourself with divine love. And it's so much better than secondhand stuff you get from people. Of course it is, because it's infinite. And it's also incredible wisdom. It's incredible. You're also connecting with your higher self, that part of yourself that's omnipotent. It knows everything. And you strengthen that connection every single time you do something like some sort of practice to go within and connect, and then connect into the divine energies. And then you become, well, it's a better version of yourself, but it's also like an easier version of yourself. It's easier to be me today than it was 20 years ago. So you'll just enjoy life more. It's meant to be enjoyed. And when you're in these high vibrations, it's a different feeling. So you just naturally enjoy the smaller moments. You enjoy the big moments, but you don't need the big moments. The small moments are so special and magical. And it can be something as simple as the sun's just come out, and wow, I'm so grateful for that. And I feel that in my heart, and that just expands out through my field, and everything changes. And if this changes inside, then your external world changes. Nothing will change outside if this doesn't change. It has to change inside you and in your field, because your vibration gets matched. Your internal vibration, it actually goes out, like it emanates out of you, and then the universe matches your vibration and brings back something that resonates and matches an experience that matches your field. So if you're dark and gloomy and you think life's tough and never got enough of this or that, your relationships are rubbish, and why do you keep attracting that sort of person, and why do your friends let you down, or whatever, your vibration is at a certain level. It's probably pretty low, to be honest. I mean, not honest, that is how it is. And so you will send out a vibration that matches. It's like you're sending out a signal to the energy around you, and then it brings back what matches that. So you will get people who let you down and who aren't great partners, and those tougher experiences. Whereas when you work on raising your internal vibration by this psychological work, by the energetic work, then you send out that signal, and then you magnetize back people who match that vibration, or you magnetize back experiences that match that vibration. You are ultimately the creator of your reality based on how you're vibrating. And your mind and thoughts affect that vibration, and your subconscious record and also past life record as well, multi-dimensional record affects that vibration. And then of course, so you've got the conscious element, you've got the subconscious element. And so that's where the inner work helps to bring all that stuff out, and you start to understand it more, and then you can change the way you think, you can change the way you respond, you can become more loving in your responses, more empowered in your responses, and then your vibration raises, and then you get a different experience from the outside world. It's just going to match you. So I know some people might find this hard to believe. If I had watched myself 20 years ago, I'd be like, I don't think so. To be completely honest. And not only that, I never would have considered that I am capable of creating my own reality. But now, because I practice it with some success and some not, because my vibration's not right, then depending on what where I'm at, I get different experiences based matching my vibration. But I have the tools. I have the tools to change it. And thanks to Susie, and thanks to practicing and learning and studying and then putting it into practice. You have to do the work to change your vibration. It won't just happen like that. You've got to do something. And when I've finally decided to make a change to my life, rather than just being a victim of my circumstances, which was actually my own creation anyway, I just had no idea. That's when things start to get better. So anyway, that's a little bit more than maybe what I plan to talk about, but I just trust that whatever's meant to be shared is shared. And I'm sending you all much love. If you've got any questions, just pop them underneath the video. I'm happy to answer them. Sometimes it takes me a few days, but I will get back to you. And I'm here in Figtree if you ever want to come and work with me as well, and we can work on this stuff together. Okay, loads of love. Mwah.